I did not watch any scary... Well, actually, yes, I did. I did. It's so bad, I almost do not acknowledge it as a scary movie. I watched the FNAF movie. I did. Yes. Oh boy. Well, it was a psychologically horrifying experience. Let me tell you. That's what that psychological horror does for you guys. That's what that's all about. Throw in a few creepily standing children and say stuff about ghosts. And wow. So scared I can't. Come on. Wow. This is what I was saying about psychological horror. It did nothing for me. It's always this cheap cutaway from like brutal scenes. There's nothing and they tell you, well, you're supposed to use your imagination. It's interpretive. And it's like, oh my gosh, interpret these nuts in your face, bro. No. It just wasn't like... It was very boring. I thought it was boring and I got very annoyed at one part. Because they basically said what FNAF is about. In a very blasé way, mind you. They're like, oh, yeah, the ghost-possessed robots are just going crazy, yeah, that's normal. And it's like, oh my gosh, how trite. I hate that, it's so dumb, right? Yeah. Show, don't tell, yes. There's so much telling, and just not enough. It was very like, let me think. They followed the ongoing trend that is seen in a lot of horror movies where the real villain reveals himself at the end. And it's just like, ugh, this formula. I refuse to fall in line. I refuse. I can't. I can't just watch the same stuff. I was like, no, I got bored. I got like super bored. And like... I guess it was PG-13, but that doesn't matter. I've seen scary stuff that's PG-13. Fuck, I mean, I thought certain episodes of Goosebumps were scary. Like the masks, that shit was creepy. And that didn't have anything crazy in it. Like... the rating is no reason to give it any leeway. Yeah, Coraline was pretty creepy in ways, right? I did think that it was cheap. I was very sad that, like, no chase scenes, really. I was hoping that there would be, like, a chase scene or two with the animatronics. There were none. They were just teleporting. It was quite literally... That's all it was. It was just teleporting. It was boring, and I was very sad. There was one cool, like, death, though. You know, one of those, right? Yeah, I thought the chomp was pretty good. I liked that. Because they too slow IRL. What do you mean IRL? It is a movie about ghosts. And things possessing them. What do you mean IRL? Shut up. I thought it was just very boring. I sat through it and I was like, yeah, tell me more, tell me more. It was just so bookish. It was like really shitty bookish to me too. And I honestly do not apologize for how I feel. I can't. Yeah, he moves pretty quick. Quick enough to teleport and not chase anybody. Which is what made him so scary in the games to begin with. If they were gonna go so far as to like replicate the setup in the games, why didn't they have at the very least like a Foxy running down the hall chase scene? They went that far. Just take it a step further, bitches. That's all, right? And it's just very boring. I felt like the main character I was supposed to feel bad for was also just... I don't know. I couldn't feel any sympathy for the guy, really. It was a very boring storyline, and... yeah. They really didn't. It was just all personal drama. But that's my big issue with a lot of psych horror stuff. It's always like the personal drama and the feelings, and it's just like... I don't care. I want to be scared. I don't want to be bored. That's my gripe. It just, you know, score one me in my take, so yeah. Fanfare movie zero horror. I agree with that take. Yeah, that's right. It lacked that horror. It did. Okay, Silent Hill 2 is different because it mixed like good psych horror with viscera. It had visceral horror moments in it, and that's what made it great. You can do psychological horror, but please don't forget yourself. Don't forget what you're trying to make. You're trying to make a scary movie. You can get too schmaltzy with that stuff and make like a drama or something that makes me feel bad instead of feel scared, right? I would prefer I don't necessarily need meatiness. I don't. But I need stuff that makes me terrified, like being chased, claustrophobia, agoraphobia in certain cases, convolution that isn't psychological or feelings based. I need something crazy, right? I don't want to feel bad for like, ideally, I only want to feel bad for people who don't deserve it, right? I think contextless horror is better because it just makes my mind wander way more. It's funny, they always say psychological horror, it's open to interpretation, but they always end up telling me so much about the victim, I can't make my own context, I can't make my own interpretation anyways, so it's like weird, right? You know what I thought was a great mix of psychological horror? I'll give one for the team. I'll give one for the team. Cube. I liked Cube. I liked Cube a lot. I really did. I really did. And the reason why is because it starts off with a very viscerally terrifying scene to instill the threat, and that's awesome. Everything else is very intrinsically interesting. The plot's interesting. The set pieces are interesting. The characters are interesting. The impossibility of the scenario is interesting. That makes you scared. That's good psychological horror. Because, well, but the type of fear is different. I don't get the look over my shoulder, run for my life type of fear. I get the whole what if that were me kind of fear. It's very existential, right? There's different kinds of fears for different kinds of like horror, right? So I don't know. I was very like this or that about it. As far as the FNAF movie goes, right? I was just like, okay. Freddy was in the movie and that makes it a 10 out of 10. To be fair, Freddy did have the best kill scene. And I think Freddy's cute, so he did sort of carry. Can I explain all the FNAF lore? Oh god, no. I cannot do that. There's no way in hell I could do that. FNAF movie was as good as a modern day PG-13 Hollywood kind of movie was ever gonna be. Can you just say it was the movie of all time? I mean, FNAF movie was a movie. That's about it. That's about as far as that goes, right? Bit of a hot take. It's not a hot take to say XYZ is scarier than FNAF 2. Me dropping my phone on the floor is scarier than FNAF, like, at all. That's just point blank. FNAF 3 is the worst, yes. It was difficult for me to like... The original one scares me. The second one is interesting, but it doesn't scare me as much because there's less claustrophobia. But I mean, it's cool. It's all cool. Markiplier was supposed to be the secure. Oh my gosh, I keep hearing about that. Here's my take on that. I don't care. I don't care if your favorite YouTuber's in the movie. Just do your damn job, right? I don't care. I don't care about that stuff. I'm not that parasocial.
Respect. It's something that I feel has been lost lately.
No, Markiplier, I can't watch. Die. I don't care. Like, I don't care. Saw in FNAF 2. There's only one thing. I liked about the movie. Only one. There was one YouTuber, I guess, who was playing Brandy in their car. And it was I Wanna Be Down, and I loved that. That was awesome. that was good. I was very, very happy that they had played I Want to Be Down. That was awesome. Yeah, it was Korea's Kenshin. But in the movie, they were a character. I don't see it automatically goes into this, oh yeah, this content creator, and it's like self-contained within the movie. I can't. It's like so strange. We say the name of the person. It's just, oh my god, that person. It's just like, I liked where the character played my favorite song. One of my favorite songs. That is it. That's all. It's almost like celebrities. I am. It genuinely feels that way. Like I'm supposed to soy jack at the screen. I'm just surprised they got any YouTuber for the movie. No, it's getting easier and easier nowadays. It's no surprise, especially since everybody reacts the same when they see a YouTuber on screen. It's always name drop, name drop. This is the best movie ever, and it's like, okay, so I guess we don't focus on the movie anymore. You soy jack when you look at me? Does it make me a celebrity? Rules for thee, not for me. I'm different. I'm different. I'm a force of nature, so it's different. Were there any horror games I were a big fan of? Slender. Slender was terrifying. I can't hide from Slender. Those are trees. Those trees were tiny. They were like this. And I'm like this. I can't. There's no way I can do any of that, right? There's no way. There's no way in hell that I can, like... No. I'm dead. If Slender looks at me, I'm done. I'm done. There is no hope for me. No. No. It is a lost cause. That's correct. I like Slender. Slender was terrifying. That's my take. That's my take. Was it a good movie? I mean, I watched it to the end. That's about it. Cool. Anyways, anybody doing anything for dinner? It was just very like, okay, I watched it, next. It's the type of movie where it's so boring. You're doing like stuff with your fingers, like doing like finger puppet like fights and stuff on your seat because the ADD has taken over. You're just doing like action finger stuff. That's like literally all I was doing in the movie. I couldn't focus on anything. I was just like doing hand signs. Did I need to buy 2 tickets? Shh! Don't you dare! Don't you dare! I had to buy 3. I had to buy 3. That's just expensive. Okay. It sucks. It sucks. It sucks having all of this. Do you understand? God. Movies are unfair to me. They don't even care. They don't even care. And it was still a tight fit. It was still a tight fit. Jeez, man. It was too much. Oh, that's hot. Yes. It was too outrageously thick and soft. I couldn't do anything about it. I wasn't about to pay for 4. What would that mean for my figure? What would that mean? It'd be way too much. I couldn't bear to deal with it. No. That bear was right there. Just right at the top, right there.